Hey guys, it's Kip here from KDC Marketing, and in today's video I'm going to show you how you can create a simple lead magnet on Wix Studio, just like this one here. This is my Figma brand style guide lead magnet, and it's a page on my website where you can go and you can download this resource for free when you fill out this form, and it subscribes you to my newsletter. This is one of my most popular resources, and as you can see, this is a very simple page, very simple lead magnet setup, and I'm going to show you how to create this inside of Wix Studio. So we're going to go to a blank Wix Studio website and show you how to create this from scratch. So let's say that this is your website right here. All I have is a hero section, but we're going to go in and build out a lead magnet. And if you don't know what a lead magnet is, it's just a resource that you are giving someone for free in order to generate leads, and most of the time you have them subscribe to your email list. So that's what's happening here, is somebody wants this template, so they're going to put in their information and subscribe. And the lead magnets can really work if you have a resource that people really want. That's what gets them excited to exchange their email address for this resource. Or maybe not excited, most people aren't excited to do that, but they want the resource, so that's why they're going to put in their information. So this is the blank Wix Studio website. So we need to set up a form. So over here in the add elements, I'm going to find the, let's see, on the left-hand side, we're going to find the forms here in a second, contact and forms. So it's just down here at the bottom, and there are some existing ones we can use here. And I recommend only using the new forms, not the old forms. So if you find one that is close to what you want in these templates, you could use that. But this is pretty close. So I'm gonna put this one in here just so we don't have to build this from scratch, because it's pretty close to what I want. It has first name, last name, email, and message. So I've added this form element to my site. I'm going to click on it, and then I get these two options. So I need to click on Edit Form, and I'm going to go in and create my form now so I can start generating leads. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change this to lead magnet, the form name, and I'm going to save that. And I'm going to go back into edit, and I'm going to change this to get your free guide. And then I'm going to go in and change these fields. So I'm going to go to settings, make this required, first name, last name, make sure the email is required. I'm going to take out message because we don't need message. I'm going to add in a subscribe. So I'm going to say, yes, subscribe me to your newsletter. This is required, and make it checked by default. And then my submit button, I don't like that it's over there. I'm going to drag this and make sure it's the full width of the form. Now, a couple of things here to go over. You can change the submit button text if you want. So you could say, get your free resource, or you could just have it say submit. So it's pretty flexible here. I'm just going to go with submit. And then the other thing is this heading. Let's say you were starting from scratch, you didn't have any fields. You can go down here to the bottom. There's the layout elements, and you can do header. That's what this is a text heading. You could add text. So, and I just drag this around, and this form builder is really flexible. Like, I can make these fields, I can change them however I want. I can drag them up and down. So this is a form builder. You can build these forms however you want, and you can even get them more robust with rules and different pages and have multi-page forms. But for a simple lead magnet, all you really need is this get your free guide, a heading with first name, last name, email, and subscribe to your newsletter. And then I've changed the name. You always want to make sure you hit save after you do anything inside of your forms so that it saves the settings. And then over here on the settings itself, we can decide what happens when they submit a form. So you can show a message, you can redirect to a URL, you can clear the form. I usually just do show a message. Some people like to redirect to a thank you page or something like that where they can promote something. And then you have some other settings down here which are a bit more advanced. Things like a spam filter, expiration date. You can limit submissions, payments, and notifications. All this stuff is probably a bit more advanced than what we need for just a simple lead magnet form. And most of the time, these default settings are going to work great for what you need. So I'm going to click save. You can preview the form right now and see what happens if you don't fill in a certain field. And yep, it's recognizing that I don't have everything. Boom. And then I would hit submit, and this is what would happen once it's live. It would actually show a submission. So I'm going to go back to the website, and this form now is going to update to how I want it on the Wix Studio canvas. The other thing I can do is I can design my form. So if I go into settings, I can select between this form and contact us. So I can select which form I want. I can select the layout and padding. So if I want, more padding, I could do that. Maybe I want 32 pixels. So there's a bit more padding, whatever you want to do here. And then on the design, same thing. I can change the submit button style. I can change the color of the button to black or blue. I kind of like that blue actually. So you can change all different types of things in here for these different areas. Submit button, back button, next button. For the form background, you can change that as well. So you can go in and design these things. I won't spend as much time on the design, but just to show you that it's possible. And then these things you probably won't need to worry about much here. Okay, so I have my form, which is the first part. This is how the user goes in and puts in their information. And now we need to do the second part, which is sending them the resource after they submit the form, because it's only good if they submit the form and get the resource right away. That's the other part of the lead magnet. You have to have it send them something. So I'm going to go into my dashboard here, and I'm going to go to the automation section of this website, and I'm going to set up an automation. So I'm going to go to automations, and I'm going to set up a custom automation here because I want it to do something for me. So I'm going to start from scratch, but they do have a bunch of preset automations in here. But for this, I'm going to start from scratch. And the first thing we need to do is set up a trigger. So I'm going to say when a form is submitted, it's a specific type of form. And we're going to select the form we just created, which was the lead magnet form. So we're going to click OK. And so now this automation will only trigger when this form is submitted. And I'm going to call this lead magnet resource. And of course, you can call this whatever you want to call it. So after we set up a trigger, we need to add a step. And most of the time, you'll just need an action, unless you want a delay or something else that's happening. But let's just do the most basic lead magnet automation here. So we're going to set an action, and we're going to send an email. And this is going to be an email that goes to the customer, the user who wants your lead magnet. And so it's going to give us a default template here. And I'm going to switch this template, and I'm going to do this maybe later. Oh, I think I have to do it now. So we'll see. Sure. That's what we'll say. It's going to make me do this now. So I'll go ahead and do this and come back. Okay, so I was able to add in that information. And if you are doing this for your first time, it'll have you do that too. So all it did was send me a code to my email address. I went and grabbed the code, and I uploaded it. I pasted it here, and then it was able to allow me to move forward. So I'm going to switch the template and look at what we have. And we don't have any templates in here because we haven't done any automations or marketing emails or anything like that. So I'm going to just edit this. And this is what I'm going to say. Thanks for subscribing. Here's your download. Here's your free download. And then I will go ahead and configure the rest of this email. So I would say something like this: your free download. And of course, you can be a lot more descriptive than this. I'm going to click save, and then I'm going to get rid of this image, don't like it, and I could say something like download a resource. Now, once you have a button like this, then you can go ahead and connect it to a link. So if this was a resource that you were housing somewhere, you could just link to it there if it's a regular URL. If it's a document, you choose the file. So you would go into choose file, and you'd have to have a PDF in here, and then you could select that. So I don't have a PDF in here, so I can't really show you that, but you would just upload media. It would ask you where from, and then you would be able to upload that information here. So then you would link to, most of the time it's going to be a PDF. My resource that I have, this is a zip file, is what it comes as a zip file, and then you have to download it and upload it into Figma. But a lot of times it's either a zip file or a PDF or something along those lines. So you'd click choose file, you'd click apply. It's going to say, hey, we don't have anywhere. I'm going to click apply. It's going to say we don't have anywhere. I'll just put in my own website for now, so that I can get past this. But that's how you would do this, is you would customize this email, make sure the subject line is good, then you could preview and test it and everything, and then you'd hit save and continue. And then you have a automation. So you have, whenever this form gets submitted, it'll send this email and give them this resource. So then you come down here, you can also set this. I usually leave this alone unless it's, let's see if there's a form. Yeah, I would just leave this as promotional. And then set recipients. This is where you can set who gets the email. So one thing that I do like to do when I have a new automation is I also like to add collaborator roles. And so it would be the owner in this case, and then click save. So that way an email gets sent to the user with the resource, and it gets sent to me so that I know it's being sent. So this is a good way to test that. And then after a little bit of that, you can take yourself off. Some of them that I have, I leave myself on. So then you click apply here, and this is a check mark, and then it will save, and you'll click activate, and then this lead magnet is good to go. So when I go in and I fill out the form here, it'll fire off and send me the lead magnet that I have. It'll say, thanks, we received your submission, and it will do everything it needs to do. And then the automation, everything will fire. I don't know if this will actually fire because this website's not published, but one of the ways we can see, so it did actually fire, it triggered one time, and this is good to know too, is how to check if this is actually working, is you can go to the view run log. So you can click on this and you can see, hey, what happened? It shows that it was sent and it was fired. It sent the email and has my information in here. So you can check this. And if you have multiple instances, it'll show those logs and you can double check it. Another place you want to double check if you're running into any issues is the form submission itself. So if I go into the form I just created, the lead magnet, I'll see this submission. And one of the reasons it might not send is if this submission went to spam. If the submission goes to spam, then it's not going to send the resource because Wix thinks it's a spam email. And sometimes it catches emails that are not spam and puts them here. It doesn't happen very often, but if it does, this can be another good place to check and troubleshoot your automation. If you see the submission in here, then you know that things should be good, at least on this side of things. And you want to check the automation itself over here and make sure that this run log is running, and you can kind of see the summary of how many times this is triggered, if it fired, and view this run log and get even more information. And if you had multiple steps in here, it would show which steps fired and when they completed and all those things, which is pretty cool. So that's how you set up a simple lead magnet on Wix Studio. And if you had a page that you wanted to have this on, you just create a new page and put this form there. Kind of like my page here, this Figma brand style guide. It's on its own unique page in my menu. All I really did is put a title up here. I put a subtitle, a subheading, and then an image and my form. And that's it. That's the same with my other resource page here. That's another popular resource of mine. Same exact thing. Super simple. And that's what you want, is you want it to be super simple so that the user gets here, gets the resource they want, and then moves on. There's really no other information here. I don't want to distract them away from this form. I want to make sure that they can find the form, fill it out, and get the resource that they need. And because I have the automation set up here, then I'm able to verify that they get everything, and then you don't have to really touch that action every time something happens. So it's automated from that point forward. And this has worked really great for me. It's been a way for me to gain more subscribers to my list here by people getting these resources. And I've had very few issues with these forms and automations. They work really well. So that's how you do it. There's a couple of places you can check if you need to for troubleshooting here in the automations or in the form itself. But it really is pretty simple to get these going, and just takes a few steps to make sure that everything is set up. And then I would test these like I just did. I would test that it came through and test that the submission came through and make sure that it's working how you want it to. And then you can roll it out to everybody that you want to offer your lead magnet to. So I hope you found this video helpful. I wanted to do this end to end so you could see what it looks like starting from scratch, but I also wanted to show you really fast what it looks like when you are in a situation where you have it all set up. So this is the KDC Marketing backend, and then on the automation side, if we look at my custom automations, here's that Figma brand style guide. And if you look at the summary here, it's fired 11 times today in the last little bit. If we were to look at the run log, you could see all the times this is firing. I'm not going to click into this because then there'll be information there, but you get an idea that this is the exact automation that I'm using for my assets. So hope this has been helpful, and I will see you in the next video.